Within the realm of true crime on YouTube, there are few channels more esteemed than JCS Criminal Psychology. The channel's unique blend of true crime storytelling, long-form police tape dissections, and at times deadpan humor has drawn tens of millions of curious viewers over the years, with each new upload basically going viral and a dedicated following of over 5 million subscribers. The future looked bright for JCS Criminal Psychology. But then the channel went silent for over a year. No uploads, no posts, no explanations, nothing. When the channel finally broke their silence and published a video, something was very off. The video was a sloppy AI mess. Today, let's cover the rise, fall, and uncertain future of YouTube's favorite true crime channel, JCS. Before we continue, I just want to give a huge thank you to the sponsors of today's video, Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for creators to stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or managing a growing brand, Squarespace makes it so easy to create a stunning website and engage your audience. With Squarespace's intuitive drag-and-drop editing, beautiful styling options, tons of visual design effects, and a whole library of templates, literally anyone can build an epic custom website to fit their needs. Not only can you sell products, but Squarespace makes it easy to offer services and get paid all in one place. From consultations to events and experiences, you can attract customers with your very own website. And for that extra professional little touch, Squarespace Domains is a great way to give your site a unique name. Every Squarespace domain comes with advanced privacy and security tools included to ensure that your domain remains online and protected. And Squarespace provides everything you need to bring more of your dream to life, whether that means building a website or adding a professional email service. From consultations to events and experiences, you can attract customers and grow your brand with Squarespace. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/izzies for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. A huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring the video, and now let's get back into things. JCS, which stands for Jim Can't Swim, was established on YouTube in 2017 and posted their first video, or rather video series, in 2019, a 3-part investigation into the then-breaking Chris Watts case. I don't want to get too into the nitty-gritty of any actual true crime cases in this video, but in short, the case saw Christopher Watts, a married father of 2 with another on the way, annihilate his entire family to be with another woman. The case was absolutely huge in the media, and one of the very first cases that the burgeoning true crime side of YouTube really latched onto. Frequently dissected in these videos were the infamous clips of Watts lying about his involvement to news reporters and the equally infamous police body cam footage of officers investigating the house and interacting with Watts. And it's not hard to see why these videos both disgusted and fascinated viewers. The man's strange, anxious demeanor, the way he fumbled with his words, his bold-faced lies broadcast to thousands of televisions across the country. It was twisted, shocking, and hard to look away from. But the police interrogation footage, on the other hand, well, that wasn't quite as easily marketable to true crime consumers. Police interrogations are often incredibly long, drawn out, and for lack of a better word, boring. Watching a static shot of a police officer and suspect sitting at a table in silence, occasionally asking and answering questions in the most frustrating, indirect manner for hours on end isn't exactly anyone's idea of fun. Adding to that, the fact that the video is often terrible quality and the audio sometimes even more so.
But Slop came out so fast.
And it's no wonder that viewers flock to the more condensed and juicy 30-minute summaries that most true crime YouTubers were putting out at the time. But JCS was different. Rather than focusing on all of the gory details, they instead took these long-form police interrogations and dissected them, breaking down the suspect's mannerisms and the tactics they used to appear innocent or even insane in order to get a lesser sentence. They also looked at the various tactics that police officers and investigators would use to get answers, from acting friendly and building a rapport to being stern and commanding answers to straight up leaving the room for hours to mentally exhaust the suspect. JCS went through hours upon hours of footage and condensed it down into easily digestible videos by fast forwarding through the tape to hone in on the most interesting moments and discussions. In addition to text captions to make the tape dialogue more understandable, JCS narrated the videos with a deadpan style of humor that viewers really resonated with. He took the videos and their subject subject matter seriously and never trivialized it, but he wasn't afraid to take a jab or two at the various stupid things that suspects would say.
It's the frequency of these little charades that makes their deception so transparent. This is a person who is not self-injurious, pretending to be someone that is. But it's such a feeble attempt at feigned self-harm, it would almost be a comical moment if the circumstances weren't as horrific.
It was fascinating to see these interrogations broken down and explained on a deeper level. Such a deep level, in fact, that many viewers suspected that JCS had real-world experience with forensic psychology and criminology. However, that has never been confirmed, as ironically, the identity of JCS is a bit of a mystery. The videos are narrated by a creator called Kazoom, who has his own YouTube channel, and the writing is done by, well, we don't really know for sure. A channel called True Crime Loser is linked in the description of JCS's videos, leading to speculation that the channel is involved in the writing process, though this has never been confirmed or denied. It's also been speculated that a group of writers are behind JCS, though again, this has never been confirmed. The channel has virtually no social media presence and no videos or community posts explaining anything about themselves. For a channel with over 5 million subscribers, they've done a pretty good job at remaining anonymous. After the Chris Watts series blew up, gaining over 30 million views, JCS was on a roll. Though the channel didn't upload often, only a few times a year, their videos were regularly hitting 10, even 20 million views, absolutely incredible numbers for a fledgling channel with no other social media presence. A few years in, the channel really began hitting their stride, with videos like There's Something About Casey with 31 million views, Jennifer's Solution with 43 million views, The Wrath of Jody with 37 million views, and most famously What Pretending to Be Crazy Looks Like with a whopping 66 million views. For any YouTube video, but especially an hour-long police interrogation tape dissection, that is an incredible number of views. What Pretending to Be Crazy Looks Like used footage from several cases to explore the phenomenon of criminals pretending to be crazy during interrogations in order to successfully plead insanity and get a lighter charge. The video, which got 30 million views in a single week, went viral on social media due to it being heavily pushed through YouTube's algorithm more than any previous JCS video. The video even has its own Know Your Meme page, which explains the video's rise in notoriety. Quote, "Shortly after the video was released, users across social media began posting wondering why it was recommended to them, suggesting that it was being recommended to everyone. Notably, on May 31st, Twitter user @KessLime posted a screenshot of the video's thumbnail captioned, 'This video and y'all recommended too,' garnering over 99,200 likes and 8,900 retweets in 3 days. Similar posts were made across Facebook and Instagram, and soon viral memes based on the video began spreading, most notably poking fun at Nicholas Cruz, whose poor attempts to feign insanity were met with deadpan sarcasm by the interrogator as well as JCS themselves."
The voice didn't tell you to take Uber, right?
Yes, it did.
It did?
Yes.
The voice said take Uber.
Unsurprisingly, discourse began spreading about these memes, with many accusing them of being tone-deaf and inappropriate due to the tragic events that they were based on. Ironically, both the memes and the discourse did nothing but propel the video to new heights of virality, and soon its views had doubled to over 60 million. It seemed like nothing could break JCS's stride. They had somehow managed to become one of, if not the most popular true crime channel on YouTube without ever selling out, pushing ads, or dropping in quality. They were lavished with praise and highly respected by the community, and it seemed like it could only go up from there. Now, JCS had never exactly had the most regular upload schedule, only putting out a handful of videos each year. However, it was clear that a lot of time and research went into them, and even though uploads were sparse, the general consensus among viewers was that the videos were worth the wait. But then, the hiatuses started. What Pretending to Be Crazy Looks Like was released in May of 2021, and it would be well over a year until the next video, Yardley's Ex-Boyfriend, which came out in December of 2022. 2 videos were released in February and March of 2023, and then, once again, radio silence for over a year. On December the 4th of 2024, just shy of 2 years since the previous uploads, JCS uploaded a video titled Newlyweds Tell on Each Other, and it was clear right off the bat that something was not right.
Behold, the sacred union that unites 2 souls into a lifelong journey. On the 2nd of December of 2017, Amelia and Joshua got married.
As soon as the video starts, we're greeted with the familiar sound of Kazoom's voice, but something is off. Rather than the slow, thought-out, and well-spoken narration of previous videos, Kazum's voice is strangely flat and he speaks very quickly. And that's because in reality he's not speaking at all. It's a very poorly disguised AI voiceover emulating Kazum's voice, presumably based on clips and recordings of his actual narration. Not only that, but 10 seconds in, a bizarre rotoscoped animation of the two murder suspects begins playing, showing them jankily dancing at their wedding before transitioning to a scene that shows them drunkenly entering a hotel room. The animation is accompanied by a barrage of sparkle and flash GIF effects all over the screen, continuing into the next scene, which shows the couple's new life in Florida. As the screen zooms into their new apartment, a bunch of weird stock clip art kitchen appliances pop into the frame before the animation transitions back into real images. Aside from the obvious fact that the animation looks like it was made on Canva and Instagram stories with all of these flashing GIFs, this level of over-editing was super out of the ordinary for JCS. Their videos are very bare bones visually, using interrogation footage and sometimes a few basic Google images when necessary for the context of the story. About 2 minutes in, the flashy editing stops and the video transitions back into the usual JCS format, interrogation footage with captions and occasional commentary. It tells the story of Joshua and Amelia, two newlyweds who both worked at a bank and decided to steal $50,000 from one of their clients in order to buy a new kitchen. The client in question was an elderly man who had recently told Amelia that he had sustained a traumatic brain injury that left him easily confused, which led the couple to target him due to his vulnerability. The elderly man's daughter, a woman called Cynthia, soon discovered the missing 50 grand and repeatedly called Amelia to inquire about it, to which she responded that she would look into it. The calls eventually stopped and it was discovered that Cynthia and her 23-year-old son had been shot in their apartment. The video examines the police interrogation tapes of both Joshua and Amelia, contrasting the two to show how quickly the couple turned on each other in order to try and get themselves off the hook. For the first 40 minutes or so, aside from the AI, the video is relatively normal, though the thought-provoking and biting commentary usually found in JCS's videos is a bit dumbed down and at times a little clumsily worded.
He was really nervous.
And that's the extent of what she says. She acts like she's beginning to cooperate, then just doesn't. And it's become a pattern at this point.
At the 43-minute mark, however, this happens.
The other narrator will now be taking you through the second phase of his interrogation.
Better?
Putting everything else aside, just imagine being Josh right now.
Yeah, literally at the end of the video, the narration switches from Kazum's voice in AI to just like a random robotic woman AI voice. In the last 10 minutes, there are only 5 comments from the narrator, including the short outro at the end of the video, which explains the outcome of the case, and this strange out-of-place joke about Star Wars, which makes no sense.
It's kinda like he's auditioning for the next Star Wars movie, and he's about to rehearse the most breathtaking fucking paragraph in the history of the franchise.
The obvious reliance on AI, as well as the less than stellar quality of the writing, puzzled and disappointed JCS's fans, and the video's comment section was soon flooded with criticism and even mockery. The video was taken down from the channel shortly after. Since the video isn't up anymore, I can't read any of the original comments, but several posts from Reddit show the fans' response. It's such a weird decision to switch fake narrators halfway through, just pulls attention to it for zero reason. Makes me think they were using like some sort of free software and ran out of words or something, lol. They definitely ran out of free tokens on 11 Labs, LMAO. The high I felt when I saw the video to the low I felt when I heard the voice gave me insane whiplash. I am incredibly disappointed in the new video. A lot of people are complaining about the writing, and understandably so. I'm not sure if they used AI for the writing, but something is seriously wrong. Take for instance this section of the voiceover narration.
Unlucky Josh. Wrong answer. You just told on yourself in your own made-up story, and you're going to jail no matter what.
The sentence itself sounds incredibly juvenile. It's a bizarrely written passage. There's another section with a similar mistake.
The detective was applying an effective variation of pressure, and the suspect crumbled like a deck chair, well and truly folded like an overcooked noodle.
You crumble like a house of cards. You fold like a piece of paper. You don't crumble like a deck chair and fold like an overcooked noodle. People don't associate those words with those items. I'm no expert in identifying AI, but so much of the voiceover, especially considering how sparse it is, sounds distinctly inhuman to me. Some are saying they sold the channel. If they did, whoever whoever is running it now does not have the source. Sorry, I know that comment was like super long and probably unnecessary to include, but I wanted to include it because I just thought it was pretty astute. It's been debated among fans whether the video itself was written by AI, and while it's impossible to confirm or deny, it's clear that the video is strangely written at best and downright nonsensical at worst. These threads contain a ton of broader criticisms towards JCS, including the accusation that they use this ethically dubious sort of body language pseudoscience, and honestly, as a fan of the channel, I tend to agree. Body language analysis is basically bullshit and is often used online to accuse innocent people of being guilty because their body language is weird or they're not acting right. Most channels that use these types of analysis have absolutely no experience in law enforcement or criminal psychology and are just going off vibes alone, and even those that are experienced in those fields often have a hard time parsing who is guilty and who's just acting weird because, you know, they're in the midst of a criminal investigation. There's also been a lot of criticism of body language analysis as it generally doesn't account for neurodivergency, i.e. if someone is neurodivergent, they may act in a surprising or even inappropriate manner for the situation, but that doesn't mean they're guilty, it means that their reaction is being unfairly compared to a quote-unquote normal reaction from a neurotypical person. All of this is to say that these criticisms of JCS are very much valid, but what drew me, and likely many other people, to JCS, at least in the early days, was their focus on analysis and actually dissecting these interrogations. They really took a deep dive into the conversations, the interactions between suspect and detective, and the various techniques and tactics that the interrogators would use. They explained real police interrogation techniques and how detectives were successfully or not so successfully trying to use them while interviewing real suspects. However, as many fans have pointed out, these interesting observations grounded in real police techniques have sort of fallen by the wayside in recent years, as the video quality has dropped gradually over time. Newlyweds Tell on Each Other isn't even the only JCS video that has recently come under fire for using AI. Yardley's ex-boyfriend and Sarah Literally Think She's Going Home Later, which cover the Yardley Love and Sarah Boone cases respectively, have both been accused of using AI voice narration. Both videos feature the same flat and almost robotic delivery, low-quality scripts with strange and sometimes nonsensical jokes or phrases, and they both came out within a few months of one another. One Redditor writes, quote, "I feel like the writing has been off for a while. I know JCS has made sarcastic jabs before, like in the Jodi Arias video, but I always liked the more scientific, for lack of a better word, sounding analysis of the earlier videos. Now it just seems to be a narrator making jabs at the person being interrogated rather than any analysis of police methods or psychology. This really paints the picture of a desperate channel Frankensteining old content and AI voice narration into new videos to pump out after long and unexplained absences. And while this is hardly uncommon for channels on YouTube, you know, I'm sure all of you guys have seen some absolutely diabolical slop, it makes no sense for JCS. JCS isn't some content farm channel and never has been. Even at their most successful, they never resorted to rushing out videos for cash and always went at their own pace, even if it meant keeping the fans waiting. So why, after all of these years, did they suddenly start feeling the pressure? And why did they resort to using a terrible sounding AI voiceover and strange uncanny editing when they have a fan base of millions and millions of followers who they could risk disappointing or worse, losing? Well, JCS is as silent as they've ever been, refusing to make an update post or explain what's going on. The channel seems to take pride in maintaining their anonymity and having this sort of air of mystery about them, but it would be so easy for them to dispel all of the rumors surrounding their channel with a simple post. The only official information we've gotten is from the voice actor Kazum, who made a short community post on the situation. Quote, "Look, there are people saying things that are just incorrect about JCS and myself. JCS got my permission first to use AI regarding my voice, and I am also being compensated word for word like I normally would. They're simply not screwing me over, and their future uploads should have my actual narration on them. The AI was used to save time. They've been gone for 2 years due to personal struggles and wanted to get the videos out quick, but it is understood now that it was a mistake and they will take more time to create videos with my authentic voice." Now, there's been a lot of speculation about what these quote-unquote personal struggles are. Some people that believe that JCS is a group of people think that the group has splintered or had a clash over creative differences. Some believe that the channel has run into legal or financial issues due to their videos repeatedly being taken down by YouTube. I even saw one comment, and for the life of me I can't find it now, but it said like the channel has been taken down by the FBI because because the videos were teaching criminals how to lie to investigators too well. And like, I don't want to 100% disprove any theory because no one really knows what's happening but JCS, but like, I'm pretty confident it's not that. Some have also speculated that the owners of the channel sold it 2 years ago, which is why all of the videos since then have been so different to all of their previous uploads in terms of writing style and quality. And again, while this could be true and I don't want to disprove it, it seems crazy for someone to sell a channel which is at the height of its success, pulling in millions of views and a ton of money, I guess, depending on how many JCS uploads are actually monetized. So literally just as I was about to put this video out, JCS uploaded a new video called Husband Tries to Act Sad. The video covers the case of David Tronis, a stay-at-home husband who murdered his wife because she didn't want to go on the TV show Zombie House Flipping. No, that's not a joke, and yeah, the video is actually really great. It's classic JCS with the real Kazoom narrating in his usual informative yet deadpan style. JCS pinned a comment with a very brief apology, one of the very few times that the channel has ever made any kind of statement outside of their videos. Quote, "Sorry for letting you guys down. The channel wasn't sold and we haven't quit. We just been dealing with some outside YouTube related stuff. We'll make it up to you and start putting out consistent content if you're willing to give us a second chance. But in any case, love goes to you all. I still cannot believe you got us this far." The comments are overwhelmingly positive, and it seems that thankfully JCS's loyal audience is very much willing to give them another chance. It's okay, Goat. Welcome back. Just glad to have the OG JCS back. We missed ya. Thanks for still being here. Always excited to see you upload. We love you too, Jim. You pulled a stunt, but we'll see. We appreciate the response. Glad you're returning to the normal format and quality. With confirmation from JCS themselves that the channel hasn't been sold and that the drop in quality over the last few years really just has been personal YouTube related stuff getting in the way of making videos, I think things are looking a lot better for the channel. Their willingness to open up and make an apology is fantastic, and it's a great step to regaining their viewers' trust after the AI videos. At this point, I think that the AI videos were just a misguided attempt to upload new videos and keep the channel active. As someone who has a YouTube channel, I totally empathize and relate to the stress of feeling like you have to upload constantly to appease the algorithm. It's not fun. And while I think the decision to upload this AI Slop video was definitely not the best, it really seems like it didn't come out of any malice and was just done in a desperate situation. Everyone makes mistakes, and I'm glad to see the apology, and hopefully they learn from this. I truly think that with open communication and dedication to making handcrafted videos without AI, JCS can regain their reputation as a hardworking and high quality channel. So in the end, this video kind of went from a rise and fall video to a rise and fall and rise again, which is the best possible ending for this story. Sorry if the audio sounds different or this section of the video kind of came out of nowhere, but I thought it was really important to add this addendum because it adds a lot of different context to the story, and I think it puts a lot more of a positive spin on things personally. As someone who's always enjoyed the JCS channel, I'm so happy to see this apology and hopefully a pivot towards more handcrafted, handmade content. There are literally millions of loyal fans who will still watch JCS's videos even if they take a long time to put out, or even if they need to take an extended break to deal with personal life things. I really hope the channel doesn't continue going down this route, as eventually they'll end up just like all of the other AI interrogation video clone channels which were originally inspired by JCS. I hope that whoever is behind the channel, whether it's one person or a group of people, are okay and can eventually go back to making the content that made the channel so well liked in the first place. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Sorry if you've heard any like weird banging or like ghostly woo sounds. It's just really windy outside and my door keeps like jamming against the, you know, whatever. I'm sorry if that's really annoying. I really wanted to cover this topic because I've really liked JCS's channel for a long time, and it was really strange to see what happened. They really pioneered this whole interrogation tape dissection genre on YouTube, and I think it would be a shame for kind of such a landmark channel, or a channel who has carved out such a unique niche on YouTube, to go down this like sloppy AI route. There are so many other channels on YouTube which are just these like really bottom of the barrel AI interrogation dissection videos, basically just JCS but made with AI and really bad, and it would suck to see the OG like circle back around to being trash like all the other imitators, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I've talked for long enough. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye! A huge thank you to my Garfield overlords over on Patreon: Doug, Astrium Vortex, Blue Mayfeld, Bunzo, Dana Homegardner, Dr. Worm, Dozo Blint, Helm Hamburger Hand, Hazy, Jar the Bar, Jesse Chisholm, Jet Secret, Katrina Likes 5e Stuff, Kia J. Parker, Leopold the Rabbit, Eminem, Mazapan Eating Duck, Meridia, Michelle Olsen, Ocean Gremlin, Prize from Traveling Tavern, Marie Brayley, Sheriff Whiskey, Simon, Stanley, Tony Terras, Usurpius, Vivian Valencia, Woljix, Xavier Araujo, Zoe Mars, A Riddle Wrapped in an Enigma Hidden by a Question Mark, Sophie Jane Dewberry, Trouser Mouse, and Matt LRJ. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. It means the world to me. If you want to join these guys over on Patreon, the link will be in the description. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next one. Bye!